Okay, I'll start with contrail season in Los Angeles. He mentions at certain times of year there are specific conditions that are conducive to persistent spreading condensation trails. And this may be a truthful fact for this part of the world that he speaks of, but it's not true for all parts of the world. And yeah, you just have to come up to Vancouver and see that this is happening all year round in all kinds of conditions and not at all specific to time of year. So there is no time of year that's specific to this phenomenon. It's happening all year round, 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 all year round. History Channel, that's impossible. They speak of geoengineering techniques and past military projects, one being Operation Popeye, the other one being Project Cirrus, and there was also a Project Stormfury. I don't know if that was mentioned in the video. These events all took place in the past. This technology is already, 20 to 30 years old, so it's not all impossible. AC-130 flares and chaff from globalsecurity.org. They say at least 500 tons of chaff is released annually during training exercises within selected military operating areas in the United States. Concerns have been raised about the impacts on the environment and its potential toxicity to humans, livestock, and wildlife. So that's a big deal. 500 tons, even within selected areas, still a lot of aluminium,
Cirrus and contrails. The morphology of contrails and their transition to cirrus and their microphysical and radiative properties. It is based upon the fortuitous occurrence of an unusual set of essentially parallel contrails and the unanticipated availability of nearly simultaneous observations by photography, satellite, automated ground-based LiDAR, and a newly available database of aircraft flight tracks. The contrails, oriented from the northeast to southwest, are carried to the southeast with a component of the wind so that they are spread from the northwest to southeast.
Ground-level contrails. What is not mentioned here is low-altitude contrails are happening at very low elevations. We're talking low altitude here between 3,000 feet and 6,000 feet. This is not happening at sub-zero temperatures. In most cases, this is happening in, warm weather, summer-like conditions. Voodoo contrails over Los Angeles. The article explains how this Voodoo is a plane owned by Raytheon, a test plane that they use to test avionics equipment. Do your research on Raytheon, find out exactly what they're involved with and what it is they make. If this is something you want to support or feel proud of, that's great. It's not exactly an organization that I want having, experimenting over top of my head on a daily basis. Okay, and there's also some mention of a circular contrails. I've personally seen these circular contrails happen over Vancouver and the GVRD. Seen some really good examples last year of a few of them happening over top of the central Vancouver Island, and I've also seen a few of them happen over the central interior of this province. The Kibu-Chilcotin area, Thompson Okanagan as well. So this whole thing of Raytheon doing test flights just doesn't explain every single circular or curved contrail that's up there. How long do contrails last? In some cases, they can last all day and even longer. For this to happen, I think is a little bit unusual. Even though there has been well-documented cases since the 40s and 50s of normal, contrails at certain elevations, freezing and persisting and spreading. this whole thing of these things spreading out and lasting a whole day is a little bit abnormal, regardless of the condition. Contrails above and below. This might be normal for Southern California and above the skies of Los Angeles. Would this same activity be normal for parts of the Central Pacific and over parts of the Eastern Pacific and parts of the Northern Pacific, Bering Sea? Some of these areas do not have the type of aircraft activity that the Los Angeles area would see.
Massive anomalous aircraft activity. 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 Massive anomalous aircraft activity.